This dish is not just filling and fulfilling, but it feeds something deep inside of me that's not just my body. And that thing is my soul. Countless great and happy memories flood my heart and mind every single time I cook this dish, and it makes me realize how blessed I am to have had those experiences as a kid with my grandparents. I won't stay on Nostalgia Avenue any longer, I promise, because I want to share with you a truly winter dish. A dish so hearty and filling that it will keep you going for a whole day like nothing else. So without further ado, I present to you Tochitura, the most meaty dish I know one person can handle. If you've seen any of my other videos and you decided to come back for more, then I assume that you are finding some value in them. If that's the case, please bless me with your kindness by subscribing to the channel, as it helps me grow and become better. In return, I promise to bring you higher value content each time. Thank you very much. The ingredients are household staples and are as follows: 500 grams of pork neck or pork shoulder, 250 grams of smoked sausage, 250 grams of fresh sausage, 250 grams of bacon, 200 grams of lard, 300 grams of feta or any salty crumbly cheese, a couple of eggs, 10 cloves of garlic or a large full head, 200 milliliters of red wine, and then salt and pepper for taste. Most of the meats that we're going to use in this dish are salty, so please use salt at the end and after you have tasted the almost done dish. When it comes to prep, the steps are quite simple. We want to cut the meat, bacon and sausages into reasonable large chunks because as they cook they will reduce in size. My advice is to cut them way bigger than your brain wants or allows you to, because if you don't make this dish very often, your instinct would be to err on the smaller side. In order to have nice bite-sized delicious chunks later, when the dish is done, we need to leave them quite big right now. But when it comes to the lard, we want to do the opposite. So slice and dice the lard into smaller pieces so that they can render the fat fast, and what you'll be left with at the end of the dish would be some really nice small pieces of lardons that will complement the dish very nicely. Finally, the last ingredient we need to prep is the garlic. Now, don't be intimidated by the fact that I'm using a whole large head of garlic. This dish actually needs that huge amount of garlic because otherwise it's not the same dish anymore. If you have problems stomaching fresh garlic, like my mom does, then you can use 2 tablespoons of garlic powder later on in the process. Now that we have all the ingredients ready and prepped, we can start cooking this delicious madness. So take the largest pan that you have or a Dutch oven and heat it up to cooking temperature. Heads up, we'll use high heat throughout the entire process until we get to the point where we add the garlic in. Once this is done, you can test the pan with a tiny bit of lard. And if it sizzles, then you can drop the entire load of lard in. Then spread it evenly in the pan, cover it with a lid and let it render. After about 5 minutes, check on it and see if it rendered halfway. And if so, then you can add the pork neck and repeat the entire process. As soon as the pork has changed color and reduced a bit in size, about 5 minutes later, we can add the bacon. And if you want to make your own bacon, please check the link in the corner of the video and in the description, where you'll find multiple recipes and variety in making your own bacon at home. If you guessed that we'll do the same thing with the bacon as with the previous 2 ingredients, then you're absolutely right. Now your house, but especially your kitchen, will start smelling like heaven. Anyway, let the bacon cook for about 5 minutes and then add the sausage mix and repeat the process. We're almost done, and now that you have an entire symphony of meats cooking and rendering inside of the pan, the only thing that's left to do is to add the garlic in. I know the smell and the look of this dish is mesmerizing you, but it's time to snap out of it for a second and prepare the garlic. Now, we peeled it in the previous step, but now it's time to slice it or dice it or put it through a press, whatever you have handy, but just make it into smaller pieces and add it to the dish. Once the garlic is in, mix it well with the other ingredients, add the wine, salt and pepper for taste, and then take the pan off the heat. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, before you add the salt, please taste a tiny bit of meat or sausage or bacon from the entire composition and see if it needs more. Chances are that it's salty enough for your taste, or if not, then you can just season it now at the end a bit more. And with that tip, the cooking part is done. Now, we need a sunny side up egg as well. But I'm not going to spend a big chunk of this video showing you or teaching you how to fry an egg. I trust that you are knowledgeable and competent to do that on your own. But yes, we are done, and all that's left is to plate this monster of a dish and enjoy it. Though it may seem trivial, plating is as important as cooking it, because you see, we want to make sure that we have a bit of everything on our plate. Each of these ingredients is essential for the complete experience. After you've balanced your plate with all of these meats, garnish it with a sunny side up egg and a healthy spoon of feta cheese or any salty, crumbly cheese of your choice. We're not done yet, because in order to make this dish justice, pickles are a must. They can be pickled cucumbers, pickled green tomatoes, sauerkraut, or any funky and weird pickles that you prefer or that you have hidden in your pantry. But pickles nevertheless, they are mandatory. You might be tired, hungry, or even frustrated by this point. And I get you, but there's nothing better than taking off your apron, sitting down with your loved ones, and enjoying this amazing dish after a full day's work. For me, this is the quintessential winter dish, and is the food that I always associate with the cold weather and long nights. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and I really hope from the bottom of my heart that this dish will become part of your winter food rotation. Please, just make it one time, just once, and I promise that you will mention my name for the rest of your life. Take care, and I will see you soon.